found. Create a free pledge manager for your project.
Hey, everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Hello.
I'm Mike Delicio. Greetings.
We get classier each step up, so
yes,
we appreciate that, Mike.
Well, very welcome.
All right, folks, thank you. This is our weekly show, Crowd Surfing, where we take a look at various projects that are on Kickstarter and give you opinions on them. We try to look at them a little bit and talk about them. Of course, some might be very good and some maybe not so much so. But of course, everything is IMO in our opinions.
Yes, indeed.
Also, we only talk about projects that are ending in around the next 8 or 9 days or so. That way, we can come back next week and talk about more stuff. So also, one of the reasons we do it because they're ending is it also gives us a good chance to see which projects may or may not fund.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're not kind of wasting. There's a little bit less guesswork. We can't look at everything. And I thought we would have fewer projects, but oh my goodness, there's a lot. And I think I'm alone in thinking this, but I think there's a lot of good ones this week.
I can confirm that you are alone in this.
Thank you, Mike, for speaking for me. I appreciate it, and you are correct.
All right.
I thought you made a little mention earlier, but okay.
I'm just saying all those people think I'm negative. Well, there's going to be some negativity, but anyhow, let's get started.
I am going to be completely and entirely positive for this episode.
Correct.
Okay, so let's start with the guide to board gaming.
I got issues with this. I got things I got to say. I got some negative things.
Problems with you people.
Why is the word board? Why is the word board in parentheses anyway?
And why is it inside a phone? I'm confused. It doesn't say getting past technology. It doesn't say put the technology away and play board games. No, it just says go from Candyland to more advanced gaming. Is Candyland app assisted and I haven't heard about it?
There is that playlist of music for Candyland.
Oh, that's right. Sweet there is.
Dreams are made of this.
That's the worst.
That is pretty bad.
Okay.
Anyway, no, this looks fairly nice, I have to say. I mean, this person, as far as I can tell, is not a writer by profession. He's a firefighter.
Mm-hmm.
And his spouse is a teacher.
Right. And
they wrote this book about, tips and tricks, like it says, for the kids, to bring the kids into gaming. Hey, it sounds interesting. It's not doing that well, and I don't know if this would fund, but
right.
It sounds neat.
I put it on here because it's a book. My concern with this is I don't know that this is a book that I would buy as a parent because I don't care if my 3 or 5-year-olds play heavier games.
I'm right with you there. Yeah, that's my concern.
There's a gazillion games for kids that are wonderful and marvelous and that I can teach them. I am teaching my 11, 12, and 13-year-old how to play Acquire and stuff.
Right.
And that's fine if he wants to, and if you want to, then I guess this is the book for you. I'm just saying that I wouldn't buy it for that reason.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to make assumptions. If they're kind of leaning into the idea of how to use board games as a way to help your children learn cooperation and taking turns, things along those lines, then that's great. But hopefully it's not how to teach your 6-year-old Twilight Imperium.
What if the sequel to this though was how to teach your spouse to love board games? It almost feels like that's the next step, right?
Yeah, no, that's not good.
Yeah, no. Okay. Well, we'll see. All right. This one's funded. Cthulhu Parlour's Hotel Lovecraft. And I sat for a long time trying to figure out if I should add this because it says it was an RPG board game book and audio horror theater. And at the end of the day, I'm concluding it's a choose-your-own-adventure escape room game.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, with an audio radio play, basically, basis to it. That's kind of how it comes across.
Well, whoever they got to do the voice work for the original trailer did a really good job.
Well, it's the same guy, I think. Yeah. It's the one guy who shows up throughout all this. He does.
That I had a problem with.
Theater in England.
His How to Play Hotel Lovecraft. I was watching it, and I was like, "Look, dude, stop with the special effects. They're very well done,
Yeah.
But you're not actually telling me how to play the game. You just keep telling me it's going to be spooky. I get it.
Yeah,
The artwork's good.
In that intro video, the last maybe 2 minutes of it, because it's a pretty lengthy video, it kind of gives you some excerpts of what the game is. And those excerpts that they presented did kind of have a choose-your-own-adventure vibe to it. And look, it looks like it's done by people that do this for a living, as far as like the voice acting and theater, and that shows because they sounded professional. I think that there are going to be certain groups of people that are going to be very much into this. It's not really anything that I have a tremendous interest in, but I mean, I don't have anything tremendously negative to say about it, other than I don't know how much game is there.
I think it's pretty outside the realm of what we usually see when it comes to board gaming or anything related. So yeah,
I'm close though. I thought it was adjacent. That's why I added it.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. It seems different. It seems like a different thing. I actually don't think it looks as good. Like you said, you like the artwork and sort of like the graphic design. I don't, but
yeah, I'm not thrilled with
it's such a different concept than the usual RPG or board game that I would be willing to try it for that novelty factor.
It almost gives me more of a vibe of one of those, how to host a mystery murder party type of a thing. Yeah.
All right, then we have Saturday Legends college football board game.
Yeah.
I was told is based on the, as seen on TV, very, very popular Friday Night Legends. This is in my running for, unintentionally, I think, funniest video of the week, because it's done in such a 1980s infomercial, and I don't think it's being ironic.
I don't think so, no. I also don't think they're being ironic when some of the statements they make in the description of it there's some pretty grandiose descriptions in there, if I remember correctly, that maybe seemed a little bit over the top. I'm trying to see where there was a particular thing, I can't remember what it was, but there were some pretty strong statements being made, if I remember right.
I do know that when you talk about teams, you have to be careful. Like, if you see football games, and I don't know how college works, but I know for NFL, you can only
don't know how college works.
You can.
Yeah, I'm a Saturday Legend.
Sanders. No, but what I'm saying is you can't use the nickname. You can't say the Philadelphia Eagles in a game. You can say Philadelphia.
Right.
But you can't say Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, because here they do say 75 Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Yeah, I don't think they're concerned about that, Tom.
No, they don't.
No, I don't think so either. But they got Forrest Gump, and I just said Bobby Boucher is in this game.
Yeah.
Who wins against Forrest Gump and Bobby Boucher?
Ooh.
Nobody. That's who.
You can do it. Yeah, I don't know. The wildly popular Friday Night Legends, are any of us familiar with that game? Was it wildly popular? I
looked it up. It funded. But it funded for about the same amount that this one's funding.
Okay.
So it's possible, just wildly popular. But there was also a couple people in this video threatening the designer they were going to whoop him at his own game, and I felt like it was a personal. like he's just selling it to his group almost.
Got it.
I think it's there's kind of like a core group of people who are into this game. They probably all live in the same city though. Yeah. It's fine. I mean, it's tiny. It's such a tiny thing.
It's very niche. Yeah, it very much has a fantasy football vibe to it, a rotisserie baseball feel, very kind of low tech.
Rotisserie.
All right, Arcana Rising. Now, this is from Gray Fox Games. It's doing pretty good for a card game because that is essentially what it is.
Sure.
I was thinking about this. I watched the trailer. If you want to see magical dust, watch the trailer because that is a good 50% of what they show you.
Look, who doesn't want to see magical dust, really, when you get right down to it?
So Tim Armstrong, he did a quirky game about the gods, which names it just escaped me. What's that game called where you build the little tiles and you're making your own world?
Carcassonne.
Yeah. So I will look it up. He made Kaiju Crush, which was okay, and he made
It's
Bad
like a
Max.
monster dating sim. Kaiju Crush.
No, Orbis.
Okay.
Right.
I like Orbis. And here's the thing. When I looked at this one, my initial thought was, oh, it's a very, very bland, generic, magical theme. But that's what I thought about Tom Lemon's game, too.
Right.
And I really like that
And you
one.
were correct.
No, he was wrong. Don't say that. I gotta say, the further I scrolled down in this one, the less excited I was.
Really? This is a stupid stretch goal of these abacus things.
I am
but I like them.
100% on board with the abacus score trackers.
Are you really?
I am totally suckered in by those stupid things.
I want one
they
too.
look fun. They
I
look
don't know
fun
what
to me.
it is. I really like those.
That looks beyond ridiculous, man.
Absolutely. No, it does. I'm on the fence on this game. I think I would be trending more towards the cautiously optimistic because the impression I get is that it would play very quickly. It would be very easy to teach, and I have a feeling it's giving me almost a Gizmos vibe, like a very much a combo building, run your engine at the right time. Or an Oh My Goods, maybe, even, where you're kind of setting up this production line and then you have to run it at the right time. I don't know.
I see that it's a clean design.
Yeah, very much.
Clean. It just looks, I don't know, a lot of it looks very sterile to me. The look is too bland, most of it, right? The cards that have artwork, they look like the usual, CCG style cards. Those are fine. I like the artwork in those, even though it is another old dusty person with a giant beard casting magic.
Watch it now.
I have high opinions of Gray Fox games, though, so I'm hoping this is good.
That's true. Yeah, that's the thing that makes me think there's got to be something other than what's apparent to me anyway, and there must be a really good game underneath the hood.
And
here,
it's also a very reasonable price, I would say, for this too.
Especially when you get that many abakai.
That's right, abakai, baby.
All right, Woodlands, a culty. I thought that said a cutie, but it's a culty mafia-esque party game. So this is a social deduction game that has distinct artwork. This artwork almost, I'm trying to think what it makes me think of.
High school.
It almost has a gloom vibe to me.
Okay, look, I don't know if this is any good or not. Social deduction games I found are almost impossible to tell if they're good until you play them. But I personally like this style. I don't know what it is. The game doesn't interest me at all because, again, the night stage, discussion stage. I'm like, wait a minute, this is Mafia all over again.
Right.
But I like the art a lot.
I do too. I'm being facetious. I like the look of this. I like this artwork.
I do too. My least favorite part of the art is the cover. I don't really love the cover, but when I saw the rest of the art on the cards, I thought, oh, that's kind of nice. I do like that.
Yeah, I like the card frames. I like the artwork. It's unfortunate that it's just Mafia or Werewolf. I mean, maybe with a tiny little twist, but that's basically what it is. But I like the look of the game,
Mm-hmm.
All right, now we have Endangered New Species. This is an expansion for Endangered, a game I think both of you really enjoyed.
Yes. Yeah, this is exciting because the one thing that I felt like maybe Endangered needed was more scenarios. I just played with the pandas this last weekend, as a matter of fact, and so I'm happy to see that they're going to be adding some new little twists. Every scenario adds a little twist, whether it's a different wind condition or something along those lines. And it looks like this is going to have this continent board, a new role of the celebrity, which I think is kind of a nice tongue-in-cheek thing. I'm very much looking forward to this.
This looks like it more than doubles the base content.
It absolutely does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, the base game had 2 species in it. You could buy a third, which Mike DeLisio will not stop talking about how he owns it.
Look,
but this This more than doubles that, I believe. Yeah, hey, it's great. That's when I reviewed the game. That was my main negative point, was it needs more. Like, you immediately want more. After one day of playing this a couple times, you want more.
Mm-hmm.
And this is more. And they've seemed like they're hitting every part of the game. More of the ambassadors, more of the characters, more of everything. So it's great. No complaints.
Ditto.
Yeah, it looks really good. Grand Gamers Guild is a company that's really becoming a company to watch.
Yeah.
With the stuff that they're putting out. So
I agree.
All right, Tacticum. This is the first Kickstarter I've seen in a long time that didn't have a video.
Yeah.
In fact,
but it has
Kickstarter
animated
will tell
GIFs.
you when you launch a project, they'll be like, "You better launch with a video."
But it's funny you say that, though, Tom, because although that's true, I feel like I know how this game plays better than other games that had videos, if that makes sense. Because first of all, it's a simple game, right? But he also has some kind of animated, I don't know what technology he's using, but this was one that at first I was like, I've got Z making fun of me now. This is one that at first I was like, oh, come on. But this to me is, we've been talking about these over the last few weeks, kind of these passion projects, these small projects. This one has that feel, but it also looks like he's spent some time to really, I don't know. This to me is one that I'm kind of pulling for some reason. I don't know what it is, but I think that there are some abstract game fans that might actually really get into this. So I don't know.
All right. I was ready to make fun of it, but I'll let it go.
Do it. Make fun of it, man.
My only concern, Mike, is I don't disagree with anything you said there. I just wish he'd put a little bit more effort into maybe the board or something. Abstract games don't have a lot going for them.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, it's cool that he took the time to, like you said, I think this gentleman enjoys the history. Like, this a point in history, the setting, this world. But he's not going to show up at my house and pass on that passion to me. So his components need to do a little bit of that job.
Sure.
There's only so excited I can get about this grid and these cubes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. It's just, it does seem to me, though, that is almost, I'm not saying it should be, but that does seem to be more the case in these type of abstract/war games. They're very, very utilitarian oftentimes. So, not that they necessarily should be, but.
Yeah. Lockbox and Bank, dice organization, transportation, and display. Not only in this game, or that's not a game, not only can you buy a box for your dice, you can buy a box for the boxes of your dice in this.
My favorite
How many
part
boxes
of this,
can you keep in the box?
Hang on, I'll find the picture in the video. Right there, look at that. Six of them.
Woo.
6 boxes you can put in the box. And you can still transport and store and display that, by the way.
And you can run them over with a semi. My favorite part of this campaign are the multiple slow motion shots, action shots of tires on these huge trucks. There you go. Boom, baby. Look at that.
Love it.
Every Kickstarter campaign needs something like this. Some part of your game being run over with a truck.
He did the whole informational thing.
From now on, no matter what I do, make, or sell, I'm going to describe it as whatever it actually does and display. So all you have to do is leave it out.
That's true. That's a good point.
Come on, everything I do, man, I'm making I'm designing these water bottles. They contain your water and they display. To put it out somewhere.
The thing was, he did it like the whole bad infomercial. He's like, "Do you have a bag of dice?" And they're falling all over the place. And then he did some weird thing where he opened the box and there was nothing in it. It was an odd joke.
Yeah. This one was very tongue-in-cheek the whole way through, so
I
that
get
was
it.
fun.
I looked at it. It's not that expensive, I think, right? It's $19.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's so many dice storage solutions that I don't know that this would be the one I would pick.
It's a cute little box. I mean, I don't think I would pay $19 for it, but it's a nice little woodworking project, and I like the stain. I like the little symbols. The key thing I don't really like. That seems weird.
I'm afraid it would break.
It does not look sturdy.
But it looks cute enough, you know.
It's all right. Yeah.
Let me see. How's it
All
doing?
right.
Right for what it is.
Ooh.
Let's jump to Ripoff Central with MetaZoo Cryptid Nation, the Cryptid trading card game, where if you watch the trailer here, they come as close to Final Fantasy 8-bit music, and then if you look at the packs, it's definitely not Pokemon at all. I promise.
Clearly MetaZoo have to catch them all. MetaZoo.
We've got to zoom.
But it's funding. All. It's funding, but I want to almost like grab the backers and be like, don't fund a collectible card game. That's.
I want to take back everything I said previously.
Correct.
High school artwork, by the way.
Correct. I know we were supposed to be positive, but this just looks awful. I have no other way to put it. This looks awful. Look at those cards. Look at the text.
I know that I was going to be the positive guy today, but I'm with you on this one. This one irritates me because it doesn't feel like it feels like they just almost like a high school kid was given permission to make a project, and which is fine. And then they bring it to me and I'll be like, hey, this looks like Pokemon. It also looks like Magic. And for some reason, there's a meeple symbol on the cards. And your packs look like Pokemon. And you're using Final Fantasy music or JRPG, whatever it is in the thing. You're going to get arrested, when you start selling this.
Some of this artwork is just amazing. I love it. Like my favorite is probably the battery, the obvious Duracell. It says Duracell. Did you see that one?
It's right here.
Right there. Yeah, it's fantastic.
My favorite are the pants. Have we passed the pants already?
Hang on. I didn't know there was
Where are the pants?
Hang on. It sounds like it's a different game. Where's Mike's pants?
Oh, I don't know about the pants. Where are the pants?
Oh man, it's not worth looking through it. But they're not supposed to be pants, but they look like white pants. Right there. Yeah.
Oh no, dude, those are Fresno Nightcrawlers.
Yeah, they look like too tight jeans. Is what they look like.
They came to life because they've never been washed. All right. Let's move on. All right. Word swap. Now I know that this is one you all want to smack on, but I actually thought this was a decent project for what it is. I don't think this is gamers per se, but it's making words and trading cards, so they're mixing. I don't know. It looks like a mass market thing that I could see Hasbro selling.
Yeah, this doesn't inspire any. You said you want to smack on it. I don't. It doesn't inspire that. It looks like, a word game with cards. I'm not interested.
This looks like something out of the box publishing would have published back in the day.
Yeah. My question is this, okay? My only question is, do we need this? I know that might seem like a dumb question because it's like, well, do you need any game? I know.
Right.
And like many games feel like other games, all that jazz. I know that. But the person out there looking at this right now, looking for this kind of game, hasn't bought one like it already?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It just seems like that person looking for a word game to play with the family or the kids found that game already.
Right.
But see here that they do say, check us out, Board Game Geek. So they know Board Game Geek exists. That's the only thing.
Sure.
I wish they had I don't know that I like the cards, but again, they obviously put different symbols in the background, different colors, so they know that that's a thing. So I don't know.
No, it doesn't look bad. It just, I think the word uninspiring is kind of the thing. It barely registered with me when I was looking at it. It was just like, oh, okay, a word game. What does it do different? Not much of anything really. Oh, okay. I mean, nothing stood out. You know what I mean?
All right, then we have another party game. What was the question? Now, this one, I really, really like the concept of it. My biggest concern with it is the longevity of it because every card's the same thing. But essentially, if you're looking at this, they'll give this, and let's have you guys play this here. Okay, so I'll pick one of these here, and I'll say invulnerability.
Okay.
Wait, I gotta find it.
So invulnerability. So then it is which one of the is it am I saying which superpower would I most want to have? Which superpower is the most overrated? Which superpower do you think might actually exist one day? And which superpower would lead to the biggest uptick in crime?
All right, so my guess would be you picked B.
And Mike?
Oh, interesting. I would say D.
And actually, it is B.
Ah, okay.
I think invulnerability is overrated.
Okay.
But I like that concept, actually. As long as the questions are well written. This is a good one. But, they have to have all of them be written in such a way that you can debate and go back and forth.
I think this game also has an inherent, I don't want to say a flaw, but something you need to keep in mind is that this wouldn't be a game you can play with a group of people that you knew some of them well and others not at all or not very well, because it really is about how well do you know your friends. And if you're in kind of a mixed group where some people know each other well and others don't, I think that would maybe make it a less enjoyable experience.
Okay.
I don't know. But I like it. Yeah, like this one, the second one down, and the question cards, the second one down about 1 to 10. How good of a singer are you, or how good of a cook, how good of a driver, how good of a texter? I like that. That's neat. It's just the problem with this kind of party game is their workload, the designer's workload, is at least quadrupled for the fun we're getting out of it. You know what I mean? Like my answer is 7. And then there's a little discussion, but like all I did was add like a tiny bit, and the designers had to do this ton of work for it, as opposed to something like just one. The players bring a lot to the table. In this one, you bring just a tiny little bit. So I worry about designer burnout. How many questions are there? How distinct are they going to be? But I like
still though. I like I think it's a cool concept.
Sure,
I agree.
Sure.
All right. Fairy, Unicorn, Mermaid, Princess, Kitten, card game and pins. I'm going to jump in right ahead. I think this is for kids. That's why I put it in here.
Sure.
I think the game probably is not fantastic, but I think the art will certainly appeal to kids.
It's adorable.
It is. It's very cute. Do you think, though, do you wonder if maybe this is one of those situations where it's an adult trying to figure out what would appeal to kids, and I'm being very serious here. Do you think little kids would actually be excited to play a game called Fairy, Unicorn, Glitter, whatever? I mean,
yes.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
From some background here, do really well.
Okay. All right.
All I gotta say is insta-funk.
Yeah, and that's a acronym that's a little bit tricky here. That's a little tough to pull off, that acronym.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have stared the acronym with FU, frankly. I would have probably moved stuff around, but yeah.
Yeah, not a good sounding acronym.
All right. Sniper Elite, the board game. We played this one live.
We did.
Mike and Roy. This is not what I was expecting. It is essentially a deduction, one person hiding and everyone else trying to find them. I'm actually extremely interested to see all the extra content in this. We played this. I can't speak for Mike, but I highly enjoyed this. I like the fact. Yes, Adolf Hitler got shot. I like the fact.
That's the best thing I've seen in all of these. Every single one I looked at today. When I got to this, I was like, oh, all right.
This feels like those social, not what are they called? The one person's hiding the game, the hidden movement type games.
Yeah.
But it was literally 45 minutes. And I thought it was extremely thematic, and I really, really liked it for that reason. And we didn't even play with these guard dogs.
We did not.
That's cool.
That's cool, yeah.
Or that other miniature that won't be mentioned.
I've played the video games before. I forget which one. One of the, I think there's sequels and stuff. I think it's a series. But I like the idea. I like the setting. I like the idea, and
one of the designers is David Thompson,
right?
Who did Undaunted and War Chest. This guy is really moving up with the game design thing.
Yeah. I did enjoy it, and this is not one that I thought was going to necessarily be in my wheelhouse at the beginning, but I think Tom mentioned a big reason why, and that was that it played quickly. It was, and it was not like, oh, it's over soon, not like that, but it played at a pace that you felt that tension, which is really good, because it's hard, even if you're feeling tension, if a game is 2.5, 3 hours long, there's going to be a lot more ebbs and flows. This one, the whole time, you feel that every turn you feel.
Yeah,
that
like
tension.
from turn one, right? It's
yes,
that
absolutely
already. It's
right.
on there.
Yeah, it really is.
Cool. That sounds great.
This one, someone's going to explain to me why it's at 389,000. Not that I think the game looks really cool, but that's a really high rating for a company I've not heard of.
Yeah,
if it's their first project. I'm really pumped about this one because it looks like it's that Kemet wheelhouse where they have Euro game mechanisms and take that. I like this size miniature really appeals to me for whatever reason. You know, like the Axis and Allies style miniature. I love the art. I like the Carcassonne look to the board. I mean, everything about this is really appealing to me. Maybe that's why it's at 400,000. It just that still seems awfully high.
Yeah, it seems extremely appealing. I like I always talk about how I like the, maybe this is not quite how it is, and I just don't have a wide enough view, but like games that have that European sensibility of artwork, like it's very French looking artwork, that kind of look to the animation. This one has that in spades. It's a feeling more really than a style, but it's got that. It looks like it combines ideas of old school American style games with, more strategic concepts. Yep. It looks like a good cross section of gaming in general. Lots here to walk away with thinking I want to get into it. That's I think what it is,
Yeah. No, I this one came out of nowhere to me. I had heard absolutely nothing about it. Just the font and the logo was enough to get my interest, and then as we kept going, I was like, "Yeah, this looks really, really good." I just, I don't have much to add other than what you said. I'm
well, there we go. Somebody said it's a video game. And there you go.
That would be why.
That explains. Again, I'm not saying the game's not good.
Right.
I'm saying that's a really high rating amount. So, but if there's a video game audience and it looks that good, that's 2 in a row there. We did Sniper and Northgard.
And this one's available on the Switch. I may even check that out. That's
alrighty. So because we did a board game Kickstarter video, Mike's buying a video game. Excellent.
That's right.
Alrighty, we're halfway through, folks. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Hey folks, welcome back to our Dice Tower preview recap. I'm Mark, and today we're going to be visiting the festival known as Day of the Dead, and we're going to be hoping to save civilians, rescue them from a war-torn world in a far-off galaxy. All right, let's get to it. So let's kick things off with Die of the Dead.
It's time to set up the altar and cook the food, light the candles and incense, hang the decorations, and don't forget the flowers. It's the Day of the Dead, the holiday where the souls of the deceased return to the world of the living to reunite with their families in a celebration that has no borders. The Day of the Dead honors the memory of the dead and allows the living to show them they have not been forgotten. Players play as friendly spirits, helping guide souls up the marigold steps, back to the land of the living. The first player to have one of their souls reach the village wins.
Not only is this game beautiful, but it is a dice game. I love dice games. And you're manipulating the dice, trying to push them into the different coffins at the right time. The dice are known as souls, and you're trying to move them up the marigold steps up to the village at the top to be the first one to do so. But the interesting element is how you manipulate all the dice between the different coffins and how you time it to get your dice at the right place at the right time. And next up, we have Defection.
The Valgars have returned to Kellarissa, fueled by their hatred of the Khazarian and desire to once again rule over the planet. Their return has triggered an all-out war between the 4 inhabiting factions. No end to this war can be seen. Its bloody nature ravages civilian life. These innocent people are caught in the crossfire of vengeful violence. But amidst the chaos and carnage, there are some who will risk it all to save the lives of the innocent. These heroes have defected from the faction's armies to evacuate as many civilians as possible before Kellerissa meets his inevitable end. Defection is a pick up and deliver game where players take the role of ship captains who have defected from the war in order to save civilians. You will need to ferry civilians around the system, deliver cargo, complete contracts, and survive dangerous encounters in order to be victorious. And you will also need to earn credits and customize your ship with crew and upgrades to aid you in your mission. Throughout the game, players will earn legend or victory points by completing contracts and defeating enemy ships, and again by ferrying civilians throughout the system. The player with the most legend after 8 years will win the game. So this is a pick up and deliver game with ship customization, space exploration, dice combat, and ultimately your goal is to gain legend.
Defection is a big space exploration, kinda. You are really just scouring the galaxy looking for colony worlds so you can save as many citizens as possible. It's a pick up and deliver game, but there's a lot of neat things along the way. I really like the fact that when you use up or exhaust a galaxy sector tile, then that sector tile is discarded and a new one is put in its place. So the galaxy is ever changing as you move between planets and carry cargo and civilians in order to save as many as possible and get the most legend at the end of the game. You are a captain with a heart of gold after all. All right, so my pick of the week. Both these games are dice games, so it was actually a little hard for me to pick because I like dice elements in games quite a bit, and Die of the Dead is just, like I said before, absolutely beautiful. But it comes down to Defection for me. Really enjoy this game. I love the exploration part, I love the pick up and deliver part, and the fact that all combat, the dice combat in this game, is a ton of fun. Between doing encounters and player versus player, or trying to go after a world or defend a world. Lots of neat things around that combat. And it's just a big, expansive game in general. All right, folks, if you want any more information about any of the games that I mentioned here, please go check out our full previews. And if you want your game featured as a Dice Tower preview, please shoot me an email. Now, also, make sure you go check out Ella's previews. She's done some for some published games as of late, and they're worth checking out for sure. All right, folks, until next time, we'll see you at the table.
So Mark is going home.
The truth is out there.
Let's start up with some dice, baby.
$500 million worth of dice.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's say this here. You have to admit, we look at a lot of dice.
Yes.
You always complain that dice are hard to read, Z. These are not.
These are sharp.
That's true. That's true. Mm-hmm. But they also give me this feeling of they seem like they've heard me or people say dice are hard to read. So they're like, oh, yeah, they're hard to read. Or they're hard to read. Really grooved in there. That gold paint is just spilling forth from those eights.
I like it. My concern is when you watch the videos and look at the pictures, I almost feel like they mean you to take these dice more seriously than I'm willing to take dice. Like, this sign stands for this, and it comes from the back. I'm like, I don't want these evil dice in my house.
I don't know. Can I still just roll them and have fun? No, respect the dice.
You will open a portal to fun.
No, how much is a set? $27.
$27.
We're in the wrong business. We need to start making dice.
Right?
How is this making $500,000? What am I missing?
I think it's the kind of the Lovecraft Cthulhu vibe is helping. Hey, they are attractive looking dice, but yeah, what $500,000? I don't know.
1,000 people backed this set that's $100.
Yeah.
So, and then the Ultimate Doom Collection, 139, 783 people backed that. 252 backed the 275 one, and 112 people backed 400.
That's amazing to me.
Well, let's see what else these folks have made here. Infinite Black, maybe that will give us a clue.
Okay.
No, same thing. They've done this before. Let's see how much they made last time. The Colors of Space, 800,000.
Wow.
All right.
So I have a theory. Perhaps there's something in the Kickstarter video. Perhaps there's some type of arcane mastery in watching that video that compels you to back the project. Could that be it?
I must back it.
I wasn't interested in these dice, but now... Oh.
But then I watched the video, and now I have to back it.
All right, by the vote, election board game.
No.
There was something I was going to say. I spent half the video trying to figure out what convention they were at. It was really bugging me. I think it might be Origins.
You think?
It was really hard. It's not Essen, and it's not. I don't think it's UK Games Expo.
Luke there is from London, so I don't know.
No, well, I know. This person's from Massachusetts.
All right, well, it's fair.
I don't know, Tom.
The ceiling is what's throwing me there. I can't think of what place had a ceiling like that.
I actually don't hate necessarily the look of this. Politics games always make me nervous, but this one does seem like it avoids the actual politics, and it's more about the system itself. I'm okay with that. But the game looks like it's something you would buy at Big Lots. No, seriously.
Man, that's the meanest thing you've said all day, Tom.
No, but it looks like the kind of game that is almost generically made.
Yeah.
Like, look at that huge QR code on the front of the box. What on earth? I don't like the cover at all, I think.
No. I think my concern is that they're kind of making a point that they were almost rushing to get this out before the election. And that causes a little bit of concern on my part. I mean, it sounds like it's been something they've been working on and developing for some time, and I do like the idea that these are a couple of cousins. It's a family, kind of endeavor. It's, I think that's kind of heartwarming and all. I don't know. It's really hard to pull off these election-themed games. I mean, unless you're Democker, it seems like it's really hard to pull them off.
I do like seeing that these guys, this is their first created game, but they've backed 102 things.
Yeah, that's a good sign. I hadn't even thought about looking at that.
That's not bad. That's better than like first created, no backed ones. You're like,
well, I guess, but I always get wary about that because, like, the Dice Tower, I use a different account for backing than I do for posting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Shh.
No one must know.
Luzon Rails. Now, I often make fun of train games because they look bad. I think this one looks good.
Looks great. I love the look. I mean, it's like really striking look.
Although it does look like you're doing a train game on the side of a honeycomb. But I mean, I still don't mind that. I like the look of it a lot.
Right.
This looks like a somewhat heavier game. I mean, maybe in that medium.
It's a cube rails game, yeah. So definitely less heavy than like an 18XX. Probably even less heavy than something like Brass or Steam.
Yeah, but it looks prettier than every single 18XX game already.
Absolutely. No, I think it's got a really neat look to it. It's got that super clean aesthetic. This would be the type of a cube rail game that I would play, just like I was compelled to play Ride the Rails because it looked nicer, right? I mean, I'm sorry. It's going to make it more attractive to people that maybe don't necessarily always play these types of games. I would be less weary of playing this just based off of its appearance.
Yeah, I mean, I think ignoring people who say, "Oh, I don't care about the look," they're entitled to that opinion, of course.
Sure.
But you are denying one of a handful of things that you get to enjoy about a game. Is it mentally stimulating? Great.
Sure.
Is it visually stimulating? That's important too.
Yeah.
This game is visually stimulating.
I'm sorry. Right. This designer also did movable type. I've heard about this. I've not played it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
And he also said he designed Tag City, which I've heard of, and Letterpress, which I have played.
Tag City, I think I reviewed, and it was kind of like a roll and write style game. I want to say that, which was nice. It was a nice game. It was very similar to a previous roll and write, but I enjoyed the look of it. And so this person clearly either is or works with some great graphic designers.
Right.
Yeah. All right. TVG Zero Leader.
Shut up!
Now look, Danvers and Games, they're who they make them for. He did himself no favors with. This is a bad straight up, it's a bad Kickstarter video. It's just recorded poorly. I mean, I would have had someone else do it. But at the end of the day, his games are going to be backed by people who like these games. Do you like solo war games? He's the king of that. I've played one once. It was maybe a little too much for me, but I didn't not enjoy it. It was fine.
Right. I've played a couple as apps, believe it or not, back quite a while ago. So I'm somewhat familiar with the system. It's not something that I particularly love, but it's actually, from what I could tell, a relatively low barrier of entry into, kind of a war type game.
I just wish by now some of the graphic design had evolved. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong.
His games look the exact same as when they first came out.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, I mean, a little. I get when you're, scraping into it, and maybe that's just the way being a war game publisher is. It's that sort of constant scraping. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but TVG's been around for a while, and I would love for the graphic design to evolve a bit. That's how I'll put it.
Can we get just maybe one chipmunk, a squirrel, something? Throw us a bone here. Let's cute animals is what I'm saying.
Oh. Got it.
No.
Anyhow, no? Wildlands. This is
there you go.
Every year Dwarven Forge has a Kickstarter, and every year I am super tempted to back them.
Every year they make bank.
They do, man.
Look at that, son.
Here's the thing. This is past my limit, though. I've bought their stuff in the past, and I always get the painted versions. But apparently, the painted version in the past have been mostly like dry brushing walls and stuff. Here, I just can't. The lowest pledge here, that's reasonable things to get. That's hand painted is $82, and that's just a bunch of terrain. You go up higher than that, it's the next one's $269. And then $595, and then
Yowza.
$1055, $1715, $1805, until you get all the way down to the $65.95, which I just bought, and someone's not getting paid for the next 2 months.
No, you should back this, Tom. I take back everything I've said.
Here's the thing. I think their quality is incredible. You can throw these at the wall, and they survive. They're modular. They're really, really, really great. But I think the prices of their Kickstarters have been gradually increasing. But if I ran miniatures or D&D sessions, I would definitely consider them. Although this seems a little more like you're not like the dungeon ones that I have. We play in dungeons all the time with these dungeon crawls. I don't know how often you'll play like in this scenario. Although I really am a big fan of this battle board here.
Right.
That you put the terrain on top of.
That's so cool having like a background and then you build on top of the background. It's a great idea. I love that idea. I guess you would get this and then build a scenario around it, Tom. That's the idea.
Yeah, but I don't want to build one scenario. But these dice are wow, I love these dice.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is
That
nice.
is a really cool die. I don't know how much the die itself cost.
Can you get just the die? I don't think so, right?
Well, I might back the Kickstarter for $1 to see. Because that's the kind of die I don't normally buy like single dice because they're really expensive. Right. That might be one I would get because I just really like that. I also like this levitating stone idea.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
No, it's not levitating. I can see the plastic holding it.
It's a scam, I tell you.
The guy and the magician, he's like, I saw him hide it in his pocket. All right. Arkwright, the card game. This one actually, at first I thought it had a low goal until I realized the game is only 29. Although they have this weird subscribers pledge.
Yeah.
Which seems weird, but $29.
Have you guys played Arkwright, the original?
I actually have not.
I don't think I have.
I haven't either.
It seems like this is becoming more and more of a trend. I mean, it's always been there to an extent, but these kind of bigger Euro games, the card version, like you had like Carson City, the card version. None of them, or even that Masters of the Renaissance, the Lorenzo card game, and you had.
Card game, but yes.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what I'm saying? It seems like this is a thing. They don't ever seem to outshine their kind of parent games. I don't. Is there a huge market for these? That's what I don't quite get.
Well, obviously they sold 1,700 of them.
Yeah. I just don't know.
Yeah, if a game does a decent business, I'm assuming everybody behind the scenes is talking about, okay, how do we spin this off?
Yeah. I guess so.
And I don't know about them never outshining the original one. I think, when they are well done, they give you the flavor of the original game, but they are distinct in their own right. And I think depending on which one people experience first, their preferences might change.
It's true.
It's still to this day like San Juan, the Puerto Rico card game, more than I like Puerto Rico.
Sure, but that's wrong.
Yeah.
Lunar Base. This has a really weird video where they kidnap a guy and look like they're about to torture him because he knows about a lunar base, but no, he just designed this game, and then they all play his game on the lunar base. Dun dun dun. It was just a weird.
Yeah, it was a bit odd, huh?
That being said, I kind of like the graphic design of this. This reminds me of that game we just played recently, the
Sovereign Skies.
It's giving me that same kind of vibe.
A little bit, yeah. It does have a little bit of that vibe to it. Yeah, I don't know. This one didn't do a whole lot for me. I didn't dislike it necessarily, but it didn't really grab me either. Nothing about it really grabbed me. It does seem like we're getting more and more of space-themed games. It's always a popular theme, but it does seem to be going through an upswing right now.
I love this kind of very clean look. My sensibilities tend to run this way anyway. So whenever I see a game like this with this kind of style, I'm always immediately drawn to it. And usually, almost every time, once I look a little closer, then the game looks abstracted too much because of that look. So it's a bit of a catch-22, this look in games, in my opinion. I think they look really clean. I think they're very attractive at a first glance. They don't look, this is the exact opposite of someone in high school. Someone with graphic design professional credentials worked on this.
Sure.
By that same token, it really lacks personality, So that's kind of where I'm at with it. The video had much more personality than I think this game looks like it has. So
well, I'm still looking forward to seeing it. Have they done
it could be good.
What's the other one? Oh, that's right. I looked at this already. But they also made Hug Phones.
Oh, I'm in.
World's first wearable teddy bear headphones.
Where do I sign up?
Done. Can you put that in as an add-on?
Yes, add-on. Yeah.
That
Hug Phones.
Speaking of stuff like that, our next game is Pugs and Mugs.
Oh, okay.
It rhymes. Okay. Therefore, we should kickstart it.
Do you see one of them as a cyborg pug? Uh-huh. Yeah, baby.
Oh, man. Yes, a pirate pug.
I do actually like this picture of the pug with paint on him and the beret in the mug. I would hang that on my wall.
Oh, that's good to know. That makes Christmas easy.
I guess now I know what I'm getting here.
I get 4 copies of this game. Like, wait a minute, guys. Come on now.
You said you love pugs, especially inside of mugs.
Right.
I'll tell you what, Mike, why don't I buy him a mug and you find him a pug?
Done and done.
All right.
All righty. I'm sure this is another one of those Uno, take that style games things. But not, it just doesn't have a big IP or, a fan base behind it, so it's not making as much. But it is funding.
Sure.
So
it looks cute enough. They went all in on the pugs, man. It's not even dark.
It's better than that other pug game I played. So there's no way this could be the worst pug game I've ever played.
Let's put that on the box.
They should quote you right now. That should show right now. There's
put that
no
on the
way
box.
It's the worst pug game I've ever played.
It's a guaranteed that it's not. All right. Ancient Rome t-shirts for Wargamers. This one surprises me that it exists.
I didn't know they had t-shirts in Ancient Rome. I learn something every week when we do these shows. I mean, that's fascinating.
These are actually classy looking t-shirts. I'm just trying to think how you would like walk in and someone's like, "Huh, it's a neat T-shirt," and I would like to run up and be like, "Don't ask, don't say anything."
Yeah, they're neat. They just look cool, but talk about a specific thing. I wish that this was more. If this was Wargamer shirts, and they had Roman symbology, they had Egyptian symbology of warring tribes, and they had. I mean, like if it was more all encompassing, World War II symbology, maybe a plane from World War I. Then I'm like, okay, sure, it's about wargaming. It's just Rome. And I guess tribal Celts and Germania and stuff. I mean,
all right. Well, I'm sure you guys haven't looked. Of those 6 shirts, which one do you think is selling the most? Don't look.
Okay. I would say Roma.
I'm gonna say. Let me look at these here.
Pick the one that you think is selling the most, and the one that's selling the least.
Okay.
I think the one selling the least is the bottom central one, Sarmate.
Yeah, that's what I would have picked too.
I think the one that's selling the most is, gosh. I don't know, maybe the one in the middle of the top, the Celtic one?
All right, so Mike, you said Roma, and what about the least?
I'm gonna break away from you guys. Well, gosh, that's Germania. No, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think it's that bottom middle.
All right, let's see. Roma, 66. Celte, 13. Dacia, 3. Germani, 6. Sarmate, 3. Parthia, 4. All 6, 98.
Wow.
So it's not like no one's getting any of them, right?
Yeah.
But apparently the only one that's really popular is the Roma by itself, which makes sense because if you're walking down the street with that one, I might, if I don't think about board games, I'd be like, something about Rome.
I would never assume that was a war game T-shirt. I'm going to assume that's just an Italy, a Rome.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
I
a
would
clothing
assume
brand.
it's a historic. I mean, it's not a modern shirt clearly, but I would assume that person really likes Rome and they're a huge fan of Gladiator or something. You know what I mean? Like,
sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily think it's a wargaming thing.
Are you not entertained? I mean, come on.
Vowl.
Vowl.
I have a big problem with this game. It's called Vowl, the game of letters gone astray. And the object of this game is to recognize words without vowels in them. But in the name of the game, they leave the O in it.
Yeah, of course.
Why? They took
How are
the
you
V
supposed to
out.
pronounce it if the O is not there, Tom?
That's the point of the game, though.
You need the goofy smiley face on the cover,
Why
Tom.
couldn't
You
they
can't
put
do
like
that
a
without
question
the O.
mark where the vowel is? At least then you'd be like, oh, okay, it must be vowel. It's not like there's...
E is missing. That's enough.
No,
That's
it's not
good.
because
It's
they
like-
take out all the vowels in the words.
Yeah, but not on the title. You won't know what you're looking at. VWL? You'll be like, what?
No, I would put question marks between it then.
That's
I
an
think
owl. I thought it
it's
was a happy
great.
face. So.
Stay in your lane, vassal. That's what they're saying.
The problem with this game is it's a very one-note game. Once you see the letters, you're done, right?
I would want to play this, I think, as a drinking game and see what people would come up with, looking at the words, without the vowels, and see how
I'm trying to
horrible they
guess
can
what
make
these
it
are.
sound.
I think the first one's bugle or bagel.
Bagel.
Yeah, I'd say bagel.
What are we looking at? Where are you?
That
right
second one, I don't want to guess that one, the orange one.
Doesn't that feel like it's a word you should be saying somehow?
Yes,
now?
it
That's what I
does.
mean. You could come up with some nastiness.
Right.
In CGR, I think they make board games.
CGR. Shut up.
Send
All
your
right.
questions to tmvsl at
Never
g.
mind. Okay, there's a single vowel in between every consonant, so that first one can't be bugle. Bagel makes sense. Oh, but there could be more than one.
Sure.
I mean, it's an interesting idea that I would do and look at once.
Sounds super annoying.
Yeah,
I hate kind of like word scramble or find the missing letter thing. I would hate this game in about 30 seconds.
It is bugging me that every single person who's reviewed this hasn't taken the vowels out of something in their review. Come
That's
on
a
now.
good point. That's
It
a
should be like
slam
the
dunk.
vowel, provo. Come on now. All right. Oh no, more dice, baby!
Koi-waii.
I'm actually surprised that these aren't doing so well because I really think, well, they're really expensive, but
Yeah.
I really like them. I was actually going to back these, so I saw that it was $15 for a die. I can't do that.
Yeah,
That's really expensive.
I like these. I might like these more than those other ones.
But these are clear, but they're not as in your face as the other ones.
No.
I really like them, but whew, $15 a die is tough.
They've also got the really, really sharp edges, which...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Never mind. I'm back out.
You're back out? All right. I like the orange ones, the burnt orange with the orange numbers. Let me see. Where are they? I think you went
I
past.
like the yellow ones.
Those.
I really like the popcorn ones here. The Zest.
Yeah, the popcorn ones look okay.
they're
The
nice.
ones would look even better, I think, the other way. The below that, yeah,
Right.
these guys, the carrots.
The Halloween ones, yeah.
Those look good. I like those.
Yeah, that is a
Yeah.
good look. I actually, there's none of them that I dislike,
Yeah.
so that's cool.
Sharp edges, though. Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the last dice, I promise. Here we go. Dice. No. Ultimate Werewolf Extreme. My biggest problem with this is I really, really hated the narration voice over the video.
Yeah.
Oof. Cold as ice.
I should probably explain it before some big internet thing happens here. It's clearly done by Eric Summer, co-host of the Dice Tower.
Yes.
He's done a lot of werewolf stuff.
I'm fatigue is the word that comes to mind when I look at this.
Yes.
Ultimate Werewolf Extreme Deluxe is what's next? Where are we going with this?
I don't disagree on that, Z, but I am excited about the app. One of the things I like about the Zoom werewolf games that I'm running is the fact that I can keep track of everything very easily. If I'm running one in person, this app seems like it could be pretty handy. That I like a lot.
Sure.
It also seems like you might be able to play it without the app, maybe? Without a moderator? No, you couldn't. I mean, could the werewolves touch the picture of the person they want to kill?
I don't know.
You should back this and find out.
There you go.
Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna get this moderator thing. If nothing else, I think that it's a useful thing. The other stuff, don't get me wrong. I like that there's all these roles and stuff. But as somebody who has gotten the game twice now, I got the Ultimate Werewolf and then the Ultimate, whatever, the white box. It feels like they might be running that into the ground. Why am I getting all the same stuff, and why is he horning in on my gavel?
You need to get the Ultimate Werewolf Extreme Collector's Edition.
This
Yes.
I think is over the top. 3D
that's over the top.
miniatures.
Okay.
The sandwich. Look at that sandwich, man.
I was in until the sandwich. That's ridiculous.
What do you think about these slap bracelets? I'm like, Z, you're dead.
R.I.P. baby.
The R.I.P. and it's like, who's dead? Oh, look at his wrist.
Gimmick galore. You know what? I'll tell you, the last time somebody did something werewolf related, and I thought to myself, that's cool and different, nice, was when Looney Labs and Andrew Looney made a werewolf version, same exact game, werewolf, and they did the on pendants that you could look inside of through a plastic circle or a glass finish or whatever, and in there was the roll, and then you would just wear one, you would look in it, and you knew who you were, and you could just let the pendant hang. Very cool.
I thought those were stupid, but all right.
But it's something that was different. I mean, this is just more the same.
I'm still excited about this because I like for me, it's about that app. That app seems really cool. Not to mention, if you want to get into werewolf, this is the way to do so.
Sure.
True.
I guess.
All right. Two more. Here we go.
I'm thinking werewolf. I'm thinking jewelry.
Board game design starter kit. This one, actually, I'm really surprised at because this looks I don't know. I'm not impressed by this at all.
Was there not something almost exactly like this that came out like a year ago?
There's a ton of these. Like, why can't I just go, why would I buy this when I can literally go to Game Crafter
Right.
and get the exact things I want for my game? I don't think you should buy a bunch of game pieces and move them around the table till a game pops in your head.
Right. Yeah.
Now, the guy who does this, he runs the Board Game Design Lab podcast, so he knows about designing games. But this didn't inspire me. It's like, oh, a bunch of different dice, cubes. It almost feels like these are extra pieces to a game, and they're like, let's make a game design kit out of this.
Yeah, I think it's meant to be a game design sort of like jumpstart an idea in your head. That's what it is. You like you said, you place this out and you go, well, these are my limitations. What can I do with it? From that point of view, I don't dislike this idea, but you're right that it's probably better just to design the thing and then go find the bits
Have you ever heard of someone who designed a game where they had the components first? That was like a really good game.
I doubt it. No, it's more like a design challenge thing, right? But this makes me think of buying a tool kit. You buy a set of tools, but you only use the 2 screwdrivers and that pair of pliers. There's that one bendy thing that you never use. That's what this is. That's what.
I feel seen.
You know you'd never bought any tools in your life, Tom. Don't.
Yes, I did. I have that giant tool set at my house, and I don't know what anything does in it.
Well, the heavy one with the handle, that's called a hammer.
That's right.
And you hit editors with it when they don't cut your footage quickly enough.
All right. Wow.
Roy.
Before we do our pick of the week, I told the guys I was going to throw in some random Kickstarter I found. Are you ready?
Nice. Oh, yeah. Bring it on, baby. Bring it on.
All right. So our random thing is the Origami Paddler. It's the world's only hard-shell folding stand-up paddleboard and kayak combined. This combines 2 things I hate. Kayaking, because I always fall off, and folding things.
So this is a kayak that you fold out, snaps into place. Yeah. Okay. It's like one of those standing boards.
Yeah, okay. It's a paddle board.
Well, it's both, I think. It can be a kayak or a standing board, I think.
If you're brave enough.
Here's the thing. I'm speaking from my own end of things. I can imagine a lot of people would love this because
$3 million worth.
Trunk. Yeah. I just laughed at it because this to me is like a horror thing. The folding and the paddling. I've had so many bad experiences falling off a kayak.
Yeah, I think.
What experiences could you have possibly had falling off of a kayak?
Okay, maybe it was only 2, but still.
Yeah,
I think a lot, dude.
Yeah,
it's a little scary that it might you're on something meant to break down.
Me and Laura were doing a kayak trip together when we were first dating, and we went down the creek, and we messed up, and we both fell in the water. And as we're sitting there sputtering and everything, these people all the other couples went by us, and there was just a lot of laughter. Then we got in the kayak, and then there was a spider in it, and I was hitting it with the paddle, and then we went again. And again, more laughter.
Oh, Tom, I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh at your misery, but that's hilarious.
And a folded up kayak, you got to think there's plenty of places for spiders to hide there. It'd be hard to hide as a spider in a regular kayak. We've got all kinds of nooks and crannies happening here.
Pick of the week, Michael. You're first. What do you got?
I am very intrigued by that the Viking themed one, the North something or other. But I am going to stick with my original thought, which is the expansion for the Endangered. I'm really looking forward to that. That's a game that I've been still continuing to enjoy, and the one thing I felt like it needed was a bit more variability, and it looks like it's going to have it here. So this is definitely my pick of the week. I'm very much looking forward to checking this out.
Yeah, I thought you might, because that's, again, I don't like it as much as you. I think it's fine, but not great. But I'm impressed with the massive amount of content.
Yeah.
Z?
Can I pick the kayak? I mean, I'm thinking on that. I'm looking into backing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
No, for me, it's going to be there were not a lot of games that rose.
I thought you might pick the same one Mike picked.
It was between that and the one I'm picking, so I'm going with this one, which is Northgard. I think Northgard looks great. It looks engaging. It looks attractive. Looks like the kind of game I like, to be honest. All the things it seems to be going for, doing, game length, amount of involvement, singing to me. So I'm going with it. Northgard. Z,
a big fan of 4X. You heard it here.
Well, streamlined 4X. It says it's 45 minutes.
Right.
This was actually almost my pick of the week. I really liked it.
Me too, almost.
I'm going with Sniper Elite. I really, really like this game.
It was fun. It was a good game.
I'm telling you, when it comes to these hidden deduction games, this one actually, for me, is going to knock out Emerson's game. Because it does a lot of the same stuff in a way faster time frame.
Yeah.
And so it was... Oh, yeah, someone said it's not too late to pick the Pug game. No, it's too late. I picked Sniper Elite. You're right. Yep. I forgot about the Pug game. But I can't change my mind now.
Honorable second place. You know what I mean?
I got to stick with this. I'm actually surprised this one's not doing better. Yeah. Because it has a big video game background. And this game looks really cool. So maybe it will do well on the... I mean, it's not that it's doing poorly. I mean, it's almost 80,000. But maybe it will do better on the market once it comes out.
Yeah, it might be one of those that Rebellion Unplugged here did. I can't click on it myself. What's the other thing they did?
Oh, okay.
Oh, I wonder if it might be something with their video game. Adventure Present. It's a pen and paper RPG, Tartarus Gate. So that also may...
Maybe it's just a little unproven in making board games. Maybe that's what's keeping the value down.
Could be.
Either way, like I said, again, it's not doing that. It's not that it's doing bad. But I think they'll have a good aftermarket. I really do.
I think so, yeah.
And I think as word gets out, stuff come out. So yeah, this is Spectre Ops is the name of the game. I love Spectre Ops, but I like this better. And it would be hard for me to pick Spectre Ops over this because it's so much faster.
Yeah, it's good.
Cool.
Alrighty, folks. Well, that is it. That's our crowd surfing. We'll see you all in another week for this. Although that's not the last live thing. Tomorrow morning, board game breakfast tomorrow afternoon. Some top 10 list you can just skip. I'm sure.
No, you want to see that one.
What's the top 10 list topic?
Go ahead, Mike.
Top 10 Tom is wrong games. Games that Tom either liked or didn't like and was incorrect in that assessment.
Great. I won't be there to defend myself, so we'll have to. I'll be posting a rebuttal video later. Alrighty. Well, anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Mike Felicio. Take care, everybody.
Have fun gaming.